All right. So yeah, it's my turn now. Look, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm literally creating this content because look, it's for me. It's for money. It ain't for the culture. It ain't for nothing. But to talk about these individuals in this situation, it's just something where I feel like based on some of the people I saw and some of the nonsense that I've seen them cover, y'all can use my opinion too. I watched some lady cackle over some reaction to this Marianne, Lorient, Leonard Honor, whatever his name is, and Umar. And people seem to like that. She was laughing more than she was actually talking. So it is what it is. I seen some other people cover some good stuff. The brother Millionaire, I think it's like Millionaire Money Mindset, or I know Random University, shout out to him. One person I definitely respect, Jay Witt. Jay Witt has made the rounds, but he's also been, somebody who has done discourse that has been rooted in, good sense. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, get into it. First and foremost, this video gets 1,000 views. I'll release the other parts to it because honestly, it's about the truth of it all. And the truth of it all is that the worst thing that could happen for Marianne, Lorient, for Lenon Honor, and for Dr. Umar, who is a doctor, regardless of how much y'all want to deny it, it is what it is. I don't know why that's a sticking point. But in any case, that's for another video. The worst thing that can happen for all three of those people is that this school opens. Actually, no, that these buildings actually get turned into a functional school. Because contrary to popular belief, and I don't know why everybody keeps referring to it as a school, this is not a school. I don't care how many books you have, how many chalkboards you have, computers, lunch ladies, classrooms. Until you have students, it's not a school. It's one of those things where it's a single point of failure. Where being a school is concerned, you would be surprised the kind of things you can get away without having. But one thing you can't get away without having for a school is students. There are no students, it's not a school. Full stop. That's it. So, in any case, one of the absolute worst things, once again, that can happen is that this turns into an actual working school. Because for Marianne, who has become hopelessly addicted to her 5 minutes of fame, she ain't even made it to 15 yet, but who has hopelessly become addicted to this little bit of YouTube shine family that she's been getting, now what you gonna talk about? You say you took your money, you took your donation, you claim with your little fake ass check that you got your money back and that you stuck it to him, but you can't produce the check. You gonna say everything in the world except the one thing people are asking for: proof that you got money. You're not gonna give any proof because you don't have to prove nothing to nobody, but you keep bringing your ass on these YouTube streets, putting your face in front of this camera, and just making a fool of yourself every chance you get. And frankly, damn it, I'm here for it. And then this is gonna be terrible for Lenon Honor because Lenon Honor has, and I gotta tell you, I don't know the dude. I don't have no problem with him, but he has shown a level of obsession with Umar that I am not a doctor, but seems almost pathological to me. I've never seen someone create a YouTube page or a Facebook page or any sort of social media page that, without being a super fan, has not been a bit weird. To be honest with you, and I know, people, they blindly follow him because, he has a narrative that people like, just like people blindly follow Umar because he has a narrative that people like. But let's just put this in relative aspects. If Lenon Honor had created a page where he does 4 and 5 hour live streams, full-blown documentaries, and creates songs and all this other stuff that he does on his channel, because I have looked at the channel, he does have non-Umar content, but it pales in comparison to the volume and the viewership of the Umar content. And I get it, get your money. But if he had done all of this about a woman who was a charlatan, who you know, went on with some of the goddamn antics that, you know, Dr. Umar carries on with, people would still call him weird. People would call him weird for that. But for some reason, his obsession with another man, you know, it's a little unnerving to me. It comes off as obsession. It really does. If this man farts and doesn't say, excuse me, we got a 2-hour live stream to discuss what kind of man he is, which I personally find to be weird. Now, if you're doing investigative journalism, if you are doing a true-to-life investigation that will yield some fruit or a criminal conviction or what have you, if you can prove that he is doing anything criminal, okay. I gotta eat my words there. But if you ain't trying to get him on American greed, or if you ain't trying to deliver him into the hands of some federal authorities, this is just coming off as rank obsession. And I mean, it is what it is. Y'all don't like it? I don't care. Argue with your mama. But it's weird. It's weird. It's very weird. And, you know, to obsess yourself with somebody and talk about them constantly and then have them sue you and then you be mad and then, you know, he get doxxed and this and that and whatever. It's like, you know, for a time, this shit's mutual combat. So I can't really feel bad for him. And from what I hear, he has a full-blown family. It's like the time and attention you are devoting to another man when you have a full-blown family, it's just a little off to me. That's just my personal opinion. Now, moving on to the main character in this story, Dr. Umar Johnson. The reason why this building or these sets of buildings actually becoming a school is the worst thing that can happen to him is now you will have a benchmark from which people can measure your success. See, a lot of people assume Umar is not smart. I personally think he's very intelligent. You can argue that fact if you want to, but his talent for social engineering is par excellence for how long he's been carrying on this hoopla, because you can't call it anything else. Umar is not a serious man. He is not a serious man, and if you are a serious person, you don't take Umar seriously. Now, full transparency, when I first discovered Umar, it was 2014, 2015-ish, somewhere around there. And like most people, even people who don't like Umar to this day, I will echo their sentiment. You came on, you was like, yo, this dude is really, yo. But that was back when he was 99%, he was presenting as 99% activist, 1% content creator. That is now flipped. He is now 99% content creator, 1% activist or principal or whatever he wants to choose to call himself, most credential, most requested descendant of yada, 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 and whatever other bullshit he got to say. But, I mean, the worst thing that could happen is the school opening for him, because now what's going to happen to your Delta status, bro? Because you can't be flying all over doing 300 lectures and going to these softball podcasts where they ask you questions where they play like they're going to ask you real questions, but they really kind of ask you questions that you can be very vague about and spin this lopsided narrative that makes no sense to anybody with 2 cents in their head. So, I mean, come on, man. He can't want this school to open. I don't care if it's for the boys. I don't care. Or the girls. You can name it whatever you want to name it. If this school opens, then the globetrotting has to stop. If this school opens, then instead of saying these phantom elders who are just like putting their heart and soul in your success, or these phantom, you know, these parents who I helped and this and that, whatever. It's just wild to me that you've done all of this and there has been no coalition that has popped up out of the woodwork to say, y'all stop messing with the doc. He helped X, Y, Z, A, B, C kid None of those people have come up. And don't tell me it's because they want privacy. Nobody wants privacy in 2026. Everybody got a channel. Everybody got something to say about something. You can't get people to shut up. So where are the people? Where are the testimonials? They're not there. These phantom elders, they're not there. They're just not. So he opens his school, and now there's a benchmark. Because right now, there's no benchmark. He's collected the money. Nobody can prove what has happened to the money. You know, nobody can, you know, yeah, hey, I did all of this to the school. I can only talk to you outside of these buildings, but I'm going to call it a school because I'm the only one building a relevant institution. You've built nothing. You wrote 2 books. You got 6 degrees, but you built nothing. And look, the whole process of promising is much more profitable than actually producing. So yeah, that's why the opening of FDMG, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey International Leadership Academy, or as I like to call it, FAM, the money gone school. Yeah, that becoming something real is going to be the worst thing in the world for all 3 of those individuals. One's going to show up and probably get arrested because she already has restraining orders against her because she don't know how to act in public. The other one, who has been railing against this person for not doing what he said he was going to do, will now have to pivot and hope for the failure of the school and look like a total dick. And then the third one, who says that the school is his whole goal, will then be prevented from really doing what his whole goal is, which is, you know, crushing the cookies of wayward single mothers and, you know, going on every continent to be the most requested and the most credentialed and all that other bullshit. So, yeah. So that's it. Like I said, this thing gets 1,000 views, which I don't think it will. But hell, if it does, I don't care. I will release other parts to it where I will focus on what each of them has to gain, has to lose. Because if everybody else can get some money off of this, I want to get my little $40 from YouTube too. And yeah, it's for the content. It's for the content, you know, because as long as we keep accepting people out here doing these crazy things, there's always going to be some money to be made. So that is the truth of it all, and that is my commentary. So by all means, you can, you know, contribute to the comments. I mean, if you want that smoke, I make time for you too. So it is what it is. But that's pretty much it. These people aren't serious. So yeah, that's why I'm not serious.